This young man is a pickpocket. His name is Michael Mason. He uses a young girl as distraction at the park and picks a man's phone. He picks other items from people as they were distracted by the naked girl. He then meets a man and sells the stolen items to him. Later on, a lady and her boyfriend, a terrorist, are seen talking. He persuades her to drop off a bomb somewhere in the French Nationalist Party headquarters, and he explains that it's just a way to send a warning as it is not going to hurt anyone. She gets to the building and entered straight inside, but as she gets there, she sees some cleaners. She didn't want to hurt anyone, so she rushed back out panicking and called her boyfriend. An argument ensued, and as she was contemplating, Michael sights her sitting with her bag from across. He sees her acting all worried. He wondered why she was worried, but he later gets up and approaches her. He quickly picks her handbag, not knowing that it contains explosives. He then hides at a corner and quickly searches the bag. He sees a wig, a doll, and a cell phone ring. He brings it out and answers the call, but he doesn't understand what the man was saying, so he hangs up and pockets the cell phone. He discards the bag close to the trash, but he was caught on CCTV. Suddenly, the bomb then detonates and 4 people were killed. CIA agent Breyer, who is being reprimanded for irresponsible conduct on the job, goes after Mason. He finds him and chases after him. Mason runs through rooftops and into the market. He sees a man park his motorcycle and steals his key, then takes his bike. But Breyer kicks him off the bike and takes him to a secret interrogation room in the city. Mason is scared and swears that he is not a terrorist. He tells Breyer that the bag contained a cell phone owned by a woman named Zoe, and that he stole it not knowing what was in it. He explains that is only a pickpocket. Breyer tests him and asks him to walk up to him and steal his wallet. Mason takes it cleverly and returns it, but without the money. Then he explains that it is all about the distraction. The bomb was set up by a group of corrupt policemen led by Rafi Bertrand, all of them members in the French Special Force RAPID, who intend to pull a robbery at the Bank of France. They come looking for Zoe, but Zoe's boyfriend Jean, one of the conspirators, allows her to escape, realizing that his compatriots will kill her. They later track Zoe's phone to Breyer's and Mason's location. Breyer engages the conspirators, who subdue him while Mason cleverly escapes. Bertrand's team proceeds to plant fake evidence at a mosque and stir up a nationwide uproar among its Islamic population using agitating hashtags on the internet. The French authorities and Bertrand's forces find Mason, but he is rescued from a sniper by Breyer, who has come to believe his story and intends to clear the case with his help, even against the orders of his superiors. They track Zoe to the hideout of her friend Paul and his motorcycle gang, but the gang firebombs their car to cover their escape. Breyer sees a car approaching and points his gun at the driver, then collects the car. They track Paul down to the bar where he works. He hears Paul speak of having a friend at his place, and Mason instigates a chaos, during which he quickly steals Paul's identity card. He brings the card to Breyer, and they use the card to find out Paul's address. Where Zoe is hiding, they manage to gain her cooperation. Zoe leads them to Jean's apartment, where they find his body hanging. It was a staged suicide. Breyer looks and he finds an ID and badge identifying him as a police officer. They get back to the car and Breyer informs his colleague, Karen Docre. She confers with her French contact, DGSI Director Victor Gamu, about taking Mason and Zoe into protective custody. However, Gamu was actually the mastermind of the heist conspiracy. He discovered that she knows a lot already, and then he kills Docre after obtaining the information he needs, and sends a pickup team consisting of his henchmen. The van arrives, and they get in, but Zoe recognizes one of the men. She signals to Breyer, and Breyer also recognizes their tattoo. They immediately fight their way out of the death trap. Now realizing Gamu's hand in the game, the three head toward the Bank of France. When a crowd of protesters masses at the front of the bank as the conspirators have intended, Gamu assigns Bertrand's RAPID team to the building to provide interior security. They arrive in a helicopter and quickly enters the bank through the roof, facilitating the digital robbery of €500 million. Upon arriving at the bank, Breyer disguises himself as a RAPID officer and manages to gain access to the building, and he is immediately sighted. Zoe and Mason sat in the van as instructed by Breyer, but they hear that he is trapped from their stolen police van's radio. Zoe and Mason then decides to go out and start a riot among the protesters, and they were able to overpower the RPID troopers closing in on Breyer. Breyer subsequently infiltrates the vault and engages Bertrand and his remaining henchmen. Bertrand escapes with the USB flash drive on which the money has been downloaded, but Breyer contacts Mason. He tells Mason to steal the flash from him, and he cleverly steals the flash drive from Bertrand. Upon noticing the theft, Bertrand takes Zoe hostage and demanded that Mason should show himself. Mason then gets up and reveals his face. Gamu, trying to salvage his plan, commands a squad of policemen to shoot and kill Bertrand, and Mason escapes with the flash drive. Sometime later, Mason, working with Breyer and French law enforcement, meets with Gamu on the pretense of trading the flash drive for a passport and a ride out of the country, and Gamu was arrested by the police. Breyer and Mason then walks off chatting. If you enjoyed this video, please do well to like, subscribe, and comment on what movies you want us to review for you. Also, turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks,